Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino. Different hat today. Thursday, April 10th, 2025 pre-market report. The biggest story right now is this pause, President Trump's pause with regard to tariffs. And I'm going to tell you this right now. This was the right move. And I actually praise President Trump for doing this. Why? This is going to give President Trump. Now, I'm actually addressing him as President Trump, not the duppy here, okay? Because this now gives President Trump an opportunity to actually negotiate. This was never a negotiation tactic at all. Uh, I personally think President Trump way overplayed his hand, and now he's starting to realize that. And also, look, man, I understand the hierarchy of things here, but apparently this wasn't even his idea. Peter Navarro, his chief advisor, this was apparently born in the mind of Peter Navarro. This whole tariff thing, okay? And President Trump thought it was a good idea. Turned out to not be such a good idea. And it's hurt the global economy. And some of this damage that has already been done is not just going to go away real quick. And I want to cover some stuff for you. So anyway, look, I understand, and I got bombarded with emails about this, what's going on. There's a lot of angry people who believe that President Trump, backed down and he's a this and he's a that, and there's some praise too. I happen to be on the praise side right now, because look, man, this isn't about a president or what. It's about us. It's always about we the people. You understand? I hope you do. And I want you guys to come away from this video with maybe a different perspective. This is opportunity. Every single day is a new opportunity for you and I to turn everything around. Everything, no matter what's going on in your life, good, bad, or indifferent, you can turn it around every minute of every day. So in my opinion, again, I'm just going to say it. This is a good thing. President Trump evaluated the situation. Again, this apparently wasn't really his plan. I don't know. It was Navarro's plan. Didn't work. It's not working. It was destroying everything. Everything was. We already understand what's going on. All right. Like let me be a little more real here. We understand the system is being taken apart piece by piece, systematically, methodically, and in the end, this is not going to play out to be too well for us here. The financial system is a disaster area on a massive scale. We all know that too. And it appears maybe President Trump knows that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. But let me just say this. This move here, in my opinion, was the right thing to do, because now it opens up a window for President Trump to actually negotiate. He claims to be the great negotiator. This is an opportunity to actually negotiate. So we'll see where it goes here. So I understand both sides of this. There's a lot of praise, and there's a lot of people who are saying, this is a complete joke. Well, you know what? Whatever your perspective may be on this, let's just hope it ends up good for us, because we're the ones that matter. This isn't some kind of a boxing match between world leaders who string us all along. You understand? This is about us. It's about our hopes, our dreams, our financial security, our everything that's connected to it here, people. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, I understand this is not about dollars and cents. Believe me, it's not about portfolios. It's not about how you look at this whole thing as, this is where my real wealth is. Again, I'm going to tell you again, if your real wealth, if you feel like your wealth is in dollars and cents, you're really in a bad spot here. Okay, so let's talk about this. So yesterday, obviously, this was epic, biggest rally in history with regard to the market. And I wrote here yesterday, Lawrence, as you probably know, the stock market today mounted one of its biggest rallies in history after President Trump paused some of these tariffs here. Look at what the market did. Okay, absolutely epic. Now today, stock futures are lower. We'll talk about that. Here's another headline here. The stock market staged an epic rally after Trump tariff pause, but volatility will continue. And I agree. I agree. There's been a lot of damage. A lot of damage has been done already, and it's just going to turn around on a dime. Um, with regard to what happened yesterday with the Federal Reserve here, so the Fed minutes show a broad sense of U.S. risk tilted towards higher inflation. and slower growth. You mean it wasn't temporary? It wasn't transitory? Come on, man. You and I got that from. It's just an incredible thing. Um, let me cover this with you guys and girls real quick. See, this is probably what you want to hear. So, this is what the tariff pause actually means, good and bad. This is in your inbox. I put this together for you guys. I got your back. You know that. I know a lot of you have questions, and I tried to outline here in this paper I wrote this morning um, what's happening. And this is in your inbox, as I said. If you subscribe to my newsletter, there's a link in the description of this video. Let me read this to you guys and go. So, Lions, this is what Trump's tariffs pause means, good and bad. All right. Short-term economic relief. Pausing tariffs, especially on imports like raw materials and semiconductors, could ease inflationary pressure in the near term. Pretty obvious. It might give consumers, and I believe it will, and certain businesses, small businesses specifically, okay? Not the major corporations. They don't give a damn either way. But U.S. small businesses are being squeezed to death, all right? But it's going to give small businesses some breathing room here, at least in the short term. Anyway, market stability. Markets tend to like predictability. We all know that. Okay. Now, does this insert a little more instability? To a certain degree, yes and no. Let me say this real quick. President Trump, how he's been so far with tariffs on, tariffs off, tariffs back on, tariffs off, no, they're back on, and now we got this pause. This is not a coherent economic policy. And in my view, tariffs are not an economic policy whatsoever. Okay. But this what we're seeing now has the potentials, which I just blasted this out this morning really fast so I can get this out to you. But I did write market stability. So I wrote markets tend to like predictability. A pause signals less confrontation for now, which might stabilize the market to a certain degree and reduce volatility to a certain degree. I'm not saying it's over, guys and girls, all right? I'm just telling you that some uncertainty may have been removed. If President Trump goes back again and starts going full bore on tariffs, this is going to send the stock market into a tailspin way worse than what we've seen before. Again, the market hates instability, and that's just the way it's going to go. So the market or investors here are going to look at this as more like a cooling off signal. All right, now rebuilding supply chains. This is a big one. I've spoken about this like forever now. This could help restore strained global supply lines. Global supply lines are already under pressure, and the pressure was building. Okay, pretty obvious, particularly in tech, energy, and manufacturing. And this may, for now, lower production costs and encourage a little more cooperation here. Now, that's what I'm hoping for. Like I said, in the beginning, I know I'm going to take a hit for what I said in the beginning of this video. I'm going to say now. I think this is a good thing. All right, there are people on both sides of the situation now. People are like destroying Trump over, he's a flip-flopper, he's a this, he's a that, he's a loser. And there's the other side that's saying, like me, that I think this is an opportunity. I believe this is an opportunity. I wouldn't care if this was a farm animal sitting behind the Resolute desk here. Okay, I think there's a lot of things that President Trump has done that are very, very, very bad. He's done some things that are good as well. But with regard to this particular event here, this, in my opinion, is going to give the president opportunity to actually put his money where his mouth is. He claims to be the world's greatest negotiator. Well, let's see if that's actually true, because this was never a negotiation tactic. And those of you that thought it was, I'm sorry. You were duped, you were lied to, and maybe you feel a sense of hurt because of that. Look, man, it's not easy to admit you were misled. We were all misled. We were told this was President Trump's plan. Apparently it wasn't. It was Peter Navarro's plan, his chief advisor. This whole thing. Okay? I said he was getting thrown under the bus. The day before this pause happened, it looks like Navarro was thrown under the bus. Whether or not this was Trump's plan or Navarro's plan, I guess we'll never really know. But apparently Navarro was the guy that was chosen to be thrown under the bus. But it doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, what matters is the end game. I think the end game is going to end terribly. Again, we are not going to see currency purchasing power destruction be destroyed. We're still going to get lower rates moving forward, which means we lose across the board. But for now, maybe something positive will come out of this. You know what I mean? You got to look at things that way. I really believe that. So anyway, I left off on rebuilding supply chains here. So this could help restore strained supply chains here, particularly tech, energy, and manufacturing. This may lower production costs and encourage some global cooperation. Sounds about right. Debt and inflation spiral. All right, this is where it's not so good. The United States is walking on a razor's edge, people. We all know that. Debt, currency debasement. Now, if this pause, here's where this pause could play out to be bad. So bear with me on this. If this pause is used politically rather than economically, see, to juice the stock market or score popularity, it could backfire in the long term, especially if we get another flip-flop on this. I am hoping at least President Trump is going to stick to his guns and here and be some kind of, be resolute on this, okay? Honestly. So signals of desperation. Here's the last one, guys and girls. This move might not be about strategy. It could be a damage control, especially with regard to the stock market, okay? Because that's the president's Achilles heel. He doesn't like to see this. He maybe didn't even see it coming. I don't know. I can't imagine that he wouldn't have seen this coming, but I don't know. Is it possible? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, all right? He's a human being. He can make mistakes, even if he's utilizing Navarro's plan, or yes or no, I don't know. No, I want to hear from you. Do you guys actually believe this was Navarro's plan, or was it actually Trump's plan that has backfired and they're throwing Navarro under the bus? I don't know. I guess that's a good question. I don't know what it is. I'll be honest with you. But whatever it is, we can hope for the best there. So anyway, signals of desperation. This move might not be about strategy. It could be about damage control. With the economy showing signs of a deeper slowdown, obviously, it may be an attempt to stimulate without actually stimulating here. And that is not strength. This is a red flag. And that's a problem. Now, with regard to how this market is starting off this morning, people, I want to show you this real quick. The dollar is in its death throes. The dollar is weakening and weakening and weakening every single day. This is comparative strength. This is not absolute strength, which the dollar is being dissolved. We know that. And the mechanism, again, of artificially suppressed rates and calls for lower a weaker dollar and lower rates is going to destroy the dollar, destroy the economy, and it's going to destroy the middle class. On a relative strength basis, the dollar really does appear to have absolutely lost its safe haven angle, okay? It just doesn't look like that anymore. It's not a safe haven asset, and that's a huge problem. I've talked about this before. The 10-year yield, some stabilization here in the debt market, some, okay? We'll see how this plays out because you know this is the key. This is how stock futures are this morning. Again, epic rally yesterday on the back of the tariff pause. It was an incredible thing. And a lot of shorts. A lot of that was short covering, okay? Short covering. So how much of that was actually real and how much is short covering? I guess we're going to find out. But this is what's going on here. We're lower across the board. This is what commodities are doing right now, guys and girls. Crude oil is still getting blasted on the back of, again, the world economy is in very, very deep shape, including the United States. And the ripple effect as to what has gone on here over the past couple of weeks, this is not something that's going to be recoverable very, very fast. The market may recover, and it may not. Look, man, this market could look at this from a few different perspectives. Hold that thought. Anyway, this is what's going on here. With regard to cryptocurrencies, they shot up yesterday big time, so we're giving a little back today. But we have yet to see how the market is going to react from this. Yesterday was a relief rally, a lot of short covering there. We really need to see what's going to happen here, guys and girls, with this stock market. We know it's not real. There's no real price discovery here. It's an illusion like everything else, and it's an incredible thing to see. Nothing is real. Everything still remains an illusion, even with what we got here. And anyway, look, I've been very angry, as you all know. I really have at the strain. Not so much what President Trump did with regard to the tariffs, which I said from day one was a bad move. Maybe it wasn't even his idea. Maybe it was Navarro's idea. I don't know. We're never going to know. We're not going to know the truth. I can tell you that right now. But I did not like the way it was hitting we the people, because we're the ones that matter here. It's not about presidents and they're in a boxing match between who this world leader and that world leader, and Trump is going to win and we're all losing. I have a big announcement to make for you. Okay, we're not winning anything. We still do not have a coherent economic policy here in the United States at all. Zero. There's none. tariffs and war, economic war, which seems to be at least cooling off, but we're still in a full-blown kinetic war, which you don't hear about at all on the mainstream media. Okay, 24 hours around the clock. It doesn't stop. You don't hear it. And this is a mechanism to pull debt into the system. The system is extremely fragile. We all know that. And the mechanism of pulling debt into the system here, it's not going to stop. That means the pressure on us is not going to stop. This is like maybe a little bit of a reprieve, especially for small businesses here, because this whole thing with the tariffs would have been an extinction level event for U.S. small businesses. Make no mistake. Gone. Zero. Finished. See you later. Going out of business. But again, what bothered me with this whole thing was President Trump did not outline a single, not even one, potential bad or fallout, which I did for all of you in a recent newsletter. After President Trump spoke in the Rose Garden, all right, I put out, he didn't discuss nothing. It was all about laughter and pointing and the charts, which was completely incoherent as well. Not one thing to say, okay, guys, he goes, listen, buckle up because we're going to have a problem. He didn't say that. And that to me is a lie by omission, or maybe he didn't know. Is it possible, in your opinion, that President Trump didn't actually know? It may be possible, okay? A lot of people think President Trump is a lot smarter than he actually is. He's just a human being. He claims to be the smartest guy in the world, some kind of a stable genius or whatever. It's not true, okay? He's no smarter than you, and he is no smarter than me. You understand? He's just a man getting maybe some bad advice, maybe like again, look, man, I wish I really knew, I'll be honest with you guys and girls, if these tariffs were Trump's idea or they were Navarro's idea. Navarro, he was the architect. He's the brainchild. This is what we were told the day before yesterday, that it wasn't Trump's plan, that it was Navarro's plan. Was that just throwing Navarro into the bus? Or was it real? I don't know. Maybe you guys and girls can tell me. You're all smarter than I am. But look, here's the bottom line with what's happening here. I hope you got something out of this that's positive, understanding what's going on. The mechanism still is the same. The song remains the same. Led Zeppelin, bam, 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 bam. Great song. The song remains the same. The economic destruction via currency purchasing power destruction on the back of artificially suppressed rates, that's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. Unless, of course, President Trump has an epiphany, and maybe he'll follow this video. Greg Mannarino has been correct. We need to dramatically raise rates here. We need to add purchasing power. We need to return purchasing power to the currency. That sound about right to you? We got to build this from the bottom up. The top-down system, though, the trickle-down economic nonsensical argument doesn't work. You need any proof? Look around you. Okay. Maybe this is a sign that President Trump is going to turn a corner here, because everything he's done so far has I can't say everything. A large percentage of what President Trump has done has been not good overall here, and economic destruction here, not understanding the financial system or the markets. Maybe he's getting a wake-up call here. I don't know. Time will tell. Time will always tell. And let me tell you something else about that. People, what I'm going to say is true. The truth always comes out. I don't care if it's in an hour, in a week, in a month, in a year, however long it takes. Be very careful about not telling the truth, even if it hurts to tell the truth, because if you got to deal with the fallout. You know what I mean? You do something wrong to someone else, and you try to cover that up, all it's going to do is make it worse, okay? So start living your life by truth here, and deal with it at that moment that you're given the opportunity to deal with truth, okay? You do something wrong, you tell a lie, you say something that's not right, and you know in your heart it's wrong. Well, turn it around, because there's an opportunity for you right there, because if you don't, the chances are, 100%, that at one point in the future, you can that lie you told is going to amplify itself on a massive scale. So start being more truthful in your lives here. And I really think that maybe, hopefully, and maybe I'm being overly optimistic here, but this is an opportunity for President Trump to actually put his money where his mouth is. Prove to us all that you're a great negotiator, President Trump. Okay? I'm not going to call you any bad names here. I'm going to give you the opportunity to turn this around, sir. Okay? Let's do this not for you, President Trump, not for self-aggrandizement, not for personal gain or the gain of your ultra-rich friends here, sir. Okay? Let's really make this about we the people. Sound about right to you, President Trump? I'm talking directly to you, and I hope I'm getting through. All right? Guys and girls, love all you. I love all you guys and girls. I really mean that with all I got. We're in this together, guys and girls, and no matter what they do, we're going to get through this. I think you know that. Um, all right, look, we're gonna get going, and I will see all of you guys. No, I will not. I'm so sorry. I will not see you today. I will not be doing a live stream, and I do apologize for that. I can't follow the markets because I got family in town, as you know. I was out all day yesterday. I had a good day, man. I needed a little downtime. I'm not gonna lie. I've been really tired. I've been beating myself up with this here. Look, man, and it's worth it to me. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like I will. I'll do what I got to do to make sure you guys and girls get cutting edge information, actionable information. It's what I'm all about. I come second. I come second. You guys and girls come first. God the Father, the Almighty, the Creator of all things, is first in my life and leads every aspect of my life. Every word that comes out of my mouth, I believe I hope at least is divinely inspired because I pray for that all the time. All right, and I hope I'm making sense to you guys and girls. I'm not. What do I know? I know nothing. Zero. If I can channel some truth here from the Almighty and relay that to you, well, then I've achieved something. Because if we rely on our own ability to understand things, we're never going to get anything right. Does that sound correct to you? Anyway, look, man, that's kind of where we stand with all this. So I won't see you later, guys and girls. I will update my trades on my website for you. There's all new trades there right now. Okay, go look at what I did for you guys and girls. I broke down the S&P 500. I broke down crude oil. I broke down gold, Bitcoin, XRP, all of it. I did all that for you yesterday. There's a link in the description of this video. Click on it. Take you right to my website. I will do that for you guys and girls later, but with the video, I won't be able to do that until my family is leaving here. Lorraine's parents here, as I told you guys and girls. All right, look, man, we got this. We got this. And I hope you guys and girls got something out of this video. If that's true, let me know. If I've earned you a thumbs up, I'd appreciate that, guys and girls. And we can't lose, in my opinion. All right, let's hope that this is a turning point here. I think instead of condemning President Trump on this whole thing, because there's a lot of condemnation here, let's look at this as possibly an epiphany. Hopefully, maybe he's seeing things in the correct light, and he'll start to actually negotiate. This was never a negotiation tactic, ever, since day one. I know some of you guys bought that, but it wasn't. And I can't, look, don't look down upon yourself for that either, because you were told it was. And people want to believe in their leaders for some reason. Believe in yourself and believe in the source. Okay? Once you, or actually believe in the source, know the source. Forget about believing. Okay? Let's talk about that for just a second here. I believe in this, I believe in that. Well, then you're on the wrong pathway. It's about knowing. It's about your relationship, building your relationship with the source here. That's what Rastafari is all about. It's about not just believing, it's about knowing. You get it? I hope that maybe this sheds a little light onto you guys and girls as to how I perceive things. Love all you guys. All right, I'll see you later.